Should have cleared my throat before I hit the button. Anyway, good morning. As you can see, this is a Monday morning that needs a little bit more clarity by way of spectacles. Good. I hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. I know I did with the fam. And that's kind of the first thing I want to say. Check this out. Let me come back over here. Now, if you are not aware, first off, know that Bass Pro is doing something really, really cool here with their Santa's workshop. Now, we went to the one in Branson and got the family photos done, and it's totally free. Totally free. So if you're looking for a Santa and doing some photos, there you go. I'm sure they've got add-on packages and everything. I showed up for the photo. I needed to talk to Santa for a minute, and we did. It was a great experience. Glad to see he's doing well after all of these centuries. But no, it's a lot of fun, man. And we spent some time down there on the landing. It was swamped, humans everywhere, and glad to see there were people with shopping bags. So that's something, you know. Because again, we're like what? We're like less than. Let me go ahead and grab this link real quick because I do firmly believe it's a good idea to be aware because plenty of folks wind up looking for a Santa and then they can't find one. And if let me get over here, where is the stream? I'm getting to it, I promise. So I want to give you the link. So let's go back over here. Show me where I'm at. There I am. There I am. There we go. So we'll just do it just like that. Okay. So check out Bass Pro. If you're looking for a Santa for family photos, they've got you covered with Santa's Wonderland. So that said, check it out. Have some fun. Enjoy. It's a big week because it's Thanksgiving week. Can you believe it's only 4 days away? And that the month of November is just about done. And then, of course, we'll be shifting into high gear into the Christmas merriment and fun. I'm looking forward to that because, well, there's no stopping it. So you might as well embrace it. Big weekend around these parts. I'm on day 6 of 8 when it comes to the big push that I'm doing, running to 500 books being downloaded, sold, etc., lives touched, lives changed. And I'll be completely blunt with you. I'm fully aware that no one has time to read my crap. Nope. I understand that. That is a great lesson learned in Stephen Pressfield's book, No One Wants to Read Your Shit. Well, that's true because no one does. Let's be real. So if you're going to put something out there, be quick and to the point. And that's actually what I'm doing this morning because I've got a pretty big day today, lots of stuff to do that I'd share. But again, nobody wants to even watch I don't know. But no, it's going to be a big day, big week tonight. Uh, the plan, if everything goes as it should, which it should, I'll be out at the Boone County Republican Party Committee's meeting at Western Sizzlin in town, and the hope there is I can kind of gather up as many candidates as possible to get the virtual stump filled up. And yeah, because again, this is for the March primary, so we've got time, but you also means you have time to get educated on the people who are wanting to represent you, and they've found it in themselves to go for it and actually put themselves in the hot seat. And it's a hot seat if you're paying attention and you're having open dialogue and conversation, and that's important. It really is on the local level. So the best I could ever do as far as a community service project is this, because I can't think of anything better for my time, effort, energy, talents, and so on to help benefit the community as a whole. So there's that. Oh, more coffee is so awesome. It's also a week away from Cyber Monday because, of course, we got Black Friday coming up on Friday. And what are your thoughts this year? How are you feeling about it? I know that there's headlines and talking points talking about how great things have gotten and much better. I can't say I agree with that just by observing just in general. But no, I did watch again down at the Branson Landing this weekend on Saturday. There are a whole lot of people, and again, I saw people walking around with shopping bags. That's your marketing research, or your market research, excuse me. And it seemed to be doing okay. So nobody was getting a hernia though from the number of bags that were going on. Oh, another thing that I most certainly want to put out there because again, I'm on a mission. 11,000 readers for 11,000 lives touched. And I know you don't care to read my crap, and that's okay. But there may be one of you who does. And when you do, I think you'll like it. And I think you can benefit from it because I can say it just because it worked for me on a lot of things. So what else do we have here? Again, I'm running kind of fast through everything this morning in the three pillars that is my life as we have coffee together and kind of chat about those things. Share some another big thing this weekend. Now, yesterday was a big push. If you were following anything again on my feed, which God only knows who sees what anymore, but in the process of promoting the book and just starting to connect with other authors out there, the indie authors. One of the things that I firmly believe everyone, you've got a book in you. Whether you ever publish it, that's on you. It's up to you if you decide that's what you want to do. But you should write it just for your family, for future generations to kind of get to know who you are. Write your own biography or autobiography. Do that. Or tell a funny story or two or something. Recollect. Um, but I think that's important, a written record of who you are. So one day people can see who you are. I just think that's very important. So anyway, but I was getting involved in some of the author groups on Facebook, and I'm seeing something that is honestly quite a few disturbing things. One, there are a lot of folks. I'm not going to say their expectations are wrong, but I think they're a little diluted because again, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, I have my goals, and I firmly believe that I'll get there, but I know I've got to put a lot of work in to get the awareness out so people will even know it exists, let alone go the next step to read it, right? But some folks think that if you just do something and put it out there, it just magically happens. No, it doesn't. It takes a lot of work, especially nowadays. Can you throw money at it for advertising and marketing and promotion? Sure. But I don't believe most people have that kind of budget on the indie scene, right? So I'm seeing a lot of people getting discouraged. And that's understandable. It happens, but you can fight it. You absolutely can. You figure out where you want to go, and then you will figure out the system to get you there. Okay? That's just a fact. Consistency and persistence will take you everywhere you want to go. And as long as you're realistic about it. If you're realistic about it and you see what's working and not working, and you push and pull on that. If it's not working, don't do it. If it is working, double down. But it's just that simple, right? But the bigger concern that I have is I'm seeing that with a lot of these groups on Facebook is that I don't believe there's a real human behind them. And therein lies one of the biggest, I mean, truly existential problems we're facing moving forward because the AI systems are not going away. Don't care what anybody says. Because let me break this down for you real fast when it comes to AI. The open AI stuff, not to simply mean Chat GPT, but I'm talking about the open AI that's the wild, wild west out there, be it Grok or Gemini, DeepSeek, any of them. Okay. The ones that are widely available to you and I, where you can get on there and do all the fun stuff from, again, learning assistance, image and video generations, whatever else. And that's not bad. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. However, they can be clunky, they can hallucinate. I had to wrangle with Grok to get the weather forecast correct. Right, and the reason I know the weather forecast was wrong, it originally generated before I really looked up, is I went to Storm Track 360 because Brandon had the right weather forecast. So I wrangled with it, finally got the code right. Everything is good. But now here's the thing. That's just the stuff that's willy-nilly out here. That can be problematic because it's not necessarily right. However, inside of companies that are contracting with the AI people to create specific AI systems, that will be different because those AI systems are going to be fine-tuned for that particular company and its needs and services. And I promise you, there'll be a far fewer hallucinations and just straight up mistakes. I guarantee it because the things work well. The open source, well, I say open source, it's not, well, I'll say open source, it's available to the public. The available to the public stuff is always going to have hiccups because why? It's quote unquote free. It's not completely free because you are training it. But that's the thing to be mindful of. And it's not just the willy-nilly that does cause good and does cause bad, but the ones that are going to be integrated into some of the bigger companies, especially if you're in data If whatever your job entails involves like data entry, analytics, things like that, be careful and cautious because frankly, the machines can do it better than we can. It can think lightning fast and doesn't need a calculator, and because it is a calculator, and it just does it, right? So those are the things to think about. No, that is not to be a doom and gloom prediction, but just let's plant a seed that moving forward, thinking about the things that the AI cannot do. It still cannot do any of the trades. The robots, I mean, the actually walk around robots, they've advanced a lot, but they're not there yet. I mean, they probably will be. Eventually, they will be, but how practical they'll be, don't know. We'll see. Eventually, they'll probably just as common as a car or a microwave or reading glasses, lab, whatever. All the things that slowly integrated into our everyday lives. And that'll come. But you can make yourself AI proof by connecting with other human beings and doing good things. That's that. So, a lot of connecting. I want to connect with people and encourage you to do the same because, again, this one of the coolest things about in creating a book, a physical product that can also be digital, and marketing and promoting it is it's giving me an opportunity to really dive in and learning how to do things now. Because in the post 2020 world, so much has changed for real change that, again, it's hard to keep up with. But the basics will never change. And that's where, like in the description, you'll see where I'm talking about, the evergreen content during the time of evergreen trees. Now, what I mean by that is now everybody's got to do a push, right? If you are in any type of retail or service industry, now's the time where you've really got to push. We're fourth quarter. You're going for Black Friday. What does that mean? We are doing everything we can to do our best to get into the black instead of in the and out of the red for the to close out the quarter, right? Because it's like we live and die by it, in the business. So be mindful when you're putting together campaigns that are targeted for Christmas and you're going for the warm fuzzies there, shop for your gifts, so on and so forth. But when time is tight, let alone budgets, when time and budgets are tight, um, when you create these things for your Christmas campaigns, take the time to consider them from an evergreen standpoint, meaning that once Christmas is over, you are not just out that time vested for a specific Christmas thing. I do recommend do some Christmassy stuff because those are great snapshots for like next year and the next year and the next year to go back and look at. And I love the time capsule aspect that we have here when it comes to photos and videos being online. And as such, but think broader then. And then start thinking about January going into the new year. And don't forget, when it comes to your marketing and your promotion and your advertising and all that, and your messaging, and this is the biggest thing I push, is you want to talk to the people who are already talking to you. Rather they're your customers, your online friends and such, talk to them in your content because they're the ones who love you most. Don't forget them. That's important. And I'm seeing more and more how more important it is because of truly the loneliness epidemic that's out there. It was funny yesterday, and Alicia and Caitlin and I took my wonderful in-laws, and they truly are, up on going out for dinner, and we did. And it was unfortunate. Again, when I'm out, if you see me, if I don't say hello to you, there's probably something truly deep on my mind because I like saying hi and smiling at everybody, right? And I was doing that yesterday, and normally just by instinct, people just respond back. They go, "Oh, hey, how are you?" And I didn't get a whole lot of that yesterday. A lot of people were in deep thought, I guess, or just foul in general. I don't know. But I do know the loneliness thing is truly a thing. And we're going into that season to where statistically and studies show when the seasonal depression really kicks in. Be mindful of one another out there and be kind and smile. This is not some kind of, and don't get me wrong, you know me, I'm not some kind of like just crazy hippy dippy weather guy, and everything is just sunshine and rainbows. No, not at all. I'm cynical as most, and sometimes even more. But I also like to put a positive spin on that cynicism because questioning things is good. Ate up with that, not so much. You know, there's a balance in everything. But be good to each other. It's Monday, it's the Thanksgiving week. A lot of folks will be off Thursday, Friday, maybe even into the weekend, have a big 4-day weekend. And be good to each other. Enjoy your family time as best you can. When people get on your nerves, it's okay to walk away. It really is. You can absolutely walk away for a little bit. No need for the arguing, fussing, and fighting. And we're all pretty good at that. It's in our nature. But you don't have to always do it, so don't. Jim's Life Advice 101. Yeah, I know I kind of ran through a whole lot of stuff. It is 8/14. It is Monday, November the 24th. And 2025 being the year on the bigger calendar. And I got things to do. That's why I was kind of like running fast. But again, consistency is key, and I'm going to do my best. Lord willing, and the creeks don't rise. And if they do, I'll be hanging out with Brandon over at Storm Trek 360. But consistency is key, and persistence. Just whatever you're doing, no matter how low you may seem to be in your process right now, keep pushing. But also stop and reassess and see if it isn't something that you're doing that's just not working right. Because you may be and not realize it. Forest for the trees and all. And the inside of the boxes now. I'm seeing this more and more and more. At one point, I know for a fact the shadow banning aspect was a thing. Okay, that has morphed into something different now. Now, I can't name it specifically, and I don't know exactly what it is, so I can better describe it to you. But I do know that your reach and people seeing what you're doing, and now goes beyond business. This is also personal because this is more important. But when you put something out there personally, and it seems like nobody's looking, it makes you feel alone. It just does. Unless you're aware that you're not in control of the machine. Okay? Don't let that get to you. But do assess what you're doing to see if it is on your end or on the other end. Because it very well could be. But if you know what you're doing is this is what I need to say and how I need to say it and get it out there. Because if you're trying to fight the algorithm like full on and you see the YouTube folks who'll tell you, you can do this and you'll get a bazillion views and clicks and likes and sales. Ask yourself, what are they selling you? Because what they're talking to you about is free, right? That's what they're doing. Free talk. But on the back end, they're most likely selling you a course, normally just a course, because most of the folks that you see online don't actually have a real service in the real world. And I'm not knocking those folks saying that they're all like that, but it's trendy stuff. And when they do that and everybody's dogpiling on it, you got a pretty good shot that it's crap. I mean, you can learn a lot from the videos themselves, but be careful where you plug down your dollars. And that's, for me personally, why I created the pillar system that I have, so I can move forward and I don't have to defend my actions. I'm just proving my actions. And that's a huge thing for me at this point. Sorry, the phone's doing things. But anyway, food for thought. We're going to do more stuff this week. I want to do more like training things, if you will. Again, I'm no expert in anything, but I got experience in a lot of stuff and things that have worked and things that haven't worked. And I am on the creator space of things. I'm very concerned about what I'm seeing with what I'm pretty sure are like the AI agents being set up to create these groups and stuff. And I'm not a fan of that because that is like totally, they're like dopamine monsters. And sometimes you got to go full on Sam and Dean Winchester and you got to take out every monster that you see. Can I take them all out? No, but I can bring you awareness to where you're paying attention. And but I do believe there's a whole lot more of that than most people realize. So if you're in a group and you've been in a group for a while, good. Cyber hug your friends in your groups. But the ones that are willy-nilly out there that appear to be talking to what you're looking at and you get in there, be careful. Just be careful. Because again, it is the dopamine monsters. That's what I'm going to call them, the dopamine monsters. Yeah. And you got to be careful with that. Anyway, I got to go. How about you? What are you doing today? Tell me. I'd love to know. Yeah. But again, the book, it's still free today through midnight. You can download it, check it out. I hope you will. I know you don't want to read my crap, and that's fine. Again, not going to break my heart. But it'd be nice if you would, because you actually may get something out of it, and you may know someone who could get something out of it and make a great Christmas gift for Black Friday or Cyber Monday. Anyway, guys, I got to go. I got things to do. And it's been a pleasure. Thank you for joining me this morning. Again, in case you missed it, it's Monday, November the 24th. We're right teetering on the edge of the full big Thanksgiving weekend. And so I hope you made plans and you're into amazing things. And we're going to find out about those amazing things as we go the rest of this week. I got to go. Anyway, let's do that end screen thing so everything will end without cutting me off and sounding kind of silly. But you know what? No, seriously, it's Monday. Own it. You can do it, and it can be a good one. So don't buy into the hype.